Hi guys, I'm just looking at pretty much one of my favourite topics in marketing, market research. When you hear that term, normally you go, oh, this has got to be the most boring thing out. You think of sampling, graphs, distribution, populations, all of that. The reason it sounds so dry is because most of the times people miss what the purpose of doing market research is about. Knowing your customer. Or Sun Tzu, know your enemy, know yourself, and fear not the result of 100 battles. Knowing who you're up against, what the customer wants, what your competitors are doing to serve. It is just answering questions. All marketing is about is answering questions. So the key point here, 3.1, why do we need to know stuff? Well, we make decisions. We're in charge of billion-dollar budgets for McDonald's, Coca-Cola. We want to introduce a new product. We want to change our product line. A competitor's brought out a new cheap offering. We want to know how customers will react. It's all about solving problems with having the right information. And there's no more important topic. And also for your careers, realizing that you're going to be given reports and have people trying to sell you stuff and say, here, this is the research, this is good, this is great, this is how the survey was developed. To me, this is just refining your bullshit detector. If you know how good quality research is put together, you can ask the questions that anyone who comes across and looks fabulous, it'll tear them apart because you'll realise they don't have any substance. And market research is one of our best subjects we do in the marketing major. It's also a skill that you will have for the rest of your lives, knowing how information developed. With the internet and the sheer amount of bullshit in terms of fake news and statistics pulled out of various spots, I'll be polite, this allows you to question any information you're given and say, really, has it been done properly? Have they actually looked at the problem, taking into account all the variables that matter? So look, this will not be in your mid-session, let's be clear, not in your mid-session exam, but this chapter will make up close to half of the multiple choice questions in your final exam, which will have 50 multiple choice as part of it. So this is critical. As I said, one of my all-time favourite chapters in terms of if you want to finish your degree going, gee, did I actually learn a useful skill? Learning about market research is it. So let's get stuck into it. I had a laugh. Big Brother is watching every dollar you spend is the case study. Digital marketers are the most intrusive out. At the moment, we're worried about the coronavirus tracking app. All of our data, we marketers know exactly what our customers are spending and where and when. So I had a laugh at the irony. Now, again, guys, look, in terms of intro, successful marketing, you must know the market. That is it, right? You have to understand. And, market research is an essential component of understanding the market. Of course you have to. We're trying to manipulate the 4 Ps, the 7 Ps, including services, to get something that'll add value to the customer. We've got to know, do they like it? Don't they like it? How do they compare it? How does it fit on a positioning map? What are the price-quality trade-offs? We actually ask the customer. All right, so now clearly this section's a ripper. 3.1, the role of market research in marketing decisions. Guys, that's all we're doing. Now have a look at the different decisions we're making here. Segmentation, sales performance, product, distribution. Marketing is constantly about making decisions that affect the business and help you generate more revenue. That's it. So knowing how to get good quality market research, what the different types are, this is a nice little introductory chapter. I've also put a lot of really short clips on key aspects that match up with some of these in the Moodle book, and I think it'll just give you a very good understanding of what we need to do. And look, this diagram in itself is one of my favorites. Marketing informs all aspects of the process. We understand, we create value, we communicate it, and we deliver it. And you've got the customer here, market research, we're asking questions all the time. Right? It's just a beautiful way to understand what we do. Now, again, I did the timing of market research project from Virgin Australia. Clearly, their market research wasn't brilliant because they were in a $6.8 billion hole financially before COVID kicked in. Yeah, look, information, understanding customers, and then converting it into a profitable business is what marketing is all about. Now, this topic, marketing information systems, is one of my favourites. It was the key part of my master's degree, which was looking at marketing intelligence, all types of information that can be used, collected in a systematic way by the organisation to be used to outperform the competitor. Delight the customer, outperform the competitor, make money. And this is still an area that a lot of companies struggle with because they don't realise how important it is to collect the data and then interpret it accurately. Now, this is a fantastic little diagram, usually a favourite multiple choice question for the final exam. The components of marketing information system are: you have marketing intelligence. Have a look at what are your sales reps telling you? What are your customer service reports telling you? What are the reviews online telling you? What are the complaints telling you? Competitor actions, environmental changes. This is all information we use daily to make decisions. Now, market research is a more formalized approach where we say, hey, we want to find out more about a particular problem. And this is what we use. We look at the opportunity, threat, or issue. We design research. We collect the data, we analyse it, and we interpret the findings and use it in decision making. A decision support system here is just saying all of these factors, internal reports, what were your sales patterns? What amount were people buying? Where were they buying from? Production reports. All of this is designed to help marketing managers make good decisions. And you've got outcomes. Information is power, right? That's it. To me, you want to know what success in marketing is, knowing how to use an information system to provide better value than your competitor and keep your customers happy. Now, guys, one of the key classic questions, and when you do market research in second year, is what are the components? This is a classic multiple choice question. Well, what's the problem? All right, if we use university students are not purchasing a textbook. That's a research problem. So what do we need to, what is the issue there? How do we best design a research methodology? How do we collect the data? How do we analyse it? How do we present the results and make recommendations? This is just a normal process of solving problems. So again, I like this line here: market research is an ongoing process and is constantly evolving. As long as you have competitors, guys, and customers, you're going to need to know how you're going with them. Are they happy? Are they unhappy? Are they thinking of leaving? Is their brand loyalty wavering? What's going on? Now, here's a nice little section on when market research is appropriate. It's got a couple of interesting ones. Relevance. It needs to be able to address the problem at hand. I love the fact that they used the Cadbury Favourites. It was a mature brand, product life cycle we did, and it was only sold, say, at Christmas or birthdays. They came out and went, hey, one of the best lines I've ever seen. The commercials on TV, when you're told not to bring anything to a party, but everyone will, so everyone brought Cadbury Favourites. Absolute genius. It even worked its way into the vocabulary of people, going, don't bring a thing, right? I don't need to bring a thing. It was a joke. But the reality is everyone went, you bring the Cadbury chocolates, favourites. Everyone loves them. So again, guys, here are just some of the potential reasons why we do it. Market research costs money. It takes your staff away from their jobs. If we employ a research company, you're talking 5 to 10 grand to do a basic survey as a minimum. Your top firms are going to charge you in the tens of thousands, if not the hundreds of thousands, to do this work for you. Now, ethics in market research, guys, look, this is a key one. We have ethics at university, but you must stick with the general principles. Yeah, don't identify people. You should be able to check who the researcher is. It's just a guideline of acting professionally. All right, what else do we have here? You got your good old concept check. Now, 3.2, defining a market research problem. Guys, there's an old saying, a problem well defined is half solved. If you know exactly what you're trying to find out. I said, students aren't purchasing textbooks because they're too expensive. That might be part of it. Or they're not buying textbooks because they don't see any value in them. Okay, but the real question may be, we need to do some research to understand what issues and problems are there relating to the acquisition and use of textbooks. And that opens it up, because you sit there and say, okay, is it buying them? Is it using them? Is it you don't have the time? It's just how you frame the question. A lot of the times gets you to look at what really the key things are you're looking at. Now, I have here just a nice little, I've just highlighted the key points of a marketing research brief, which is what you would give to a consultant or your research team and say, here's the problem, guys, fix it up. And they've got a lovely example here of what it would look like. Just very professional. Look at the key words. To gain market share, you need to gain a higher level understanding of its customers. We'll commission research. This is our language. This is how we get information coming into the organisation. All right, I do like this one, zeroing in the spotlight on waste reduction. Our household is as guilty as others. You look at what happens. What are people's attitudes? Do they want to recycle? Do they want to know where it ends up? We're solving problems. And with climate change being one of the world's greatest issues, looking at consumer attitudes, researching what they're willing to do, trade off for a greener, cleaner environment is very important at the moment. Now, again, guys, look, I have here 3.3 key research design issues. I have these videos that are in the Moodle site are really great. There's one 8 minutes which shows you explains how businesses use market information, primary and secondary data, quantitative, qualitative. In summary, primary data is just you've done a survey and we've asked the customer directly for their opinion. Secondary data is another uni may or an academic may have published reasons university students don't buy textbooks in the US. That's data already created that we're adapting to help inform our particular problem. Quantitative research is with using surveys, numbers. Again, you'll see that through the textbook, the definition. Qualitative is your softer stuff, your focus groups, your one-on-one in-depth interviews, where you're asking a question, then a second question, a third question, trying to really tease out why students are buying a textbook, why they're not showing to lectures. We've got some good ideas, but this allows you to get greater depth. And a lot of it, the method you're going to use depends on whether or not what your actual research question does. So, guys, I've got here 3 classic types of research methodology. Exploratory research, we don't know what's going on, right? Descriptive research, solve a problem. Causal, have a look at what I have, the 2 little the videos on the Moodle site. It gives you a nice little overview of it. Again, classic multiple choice question, but I don't want to go into too much detail here for the simple reason that you have a whole subject to do when you do this in second year. For now, if you look at the videos, know these definitions, that's plenty in terms of Mark 101. Again, look at the diagram, multiple approaches. You've got exploratory research, possible causes, and then you can refine it. I mean, the textbooks I have in the office, about 10 research textbooks. This is a fascinating area. Now, again, here are your definitions of secondary data. Right, it's already been done. The tables below are the most beautiful tables in the textbook. Absolutely love them, guys. You've got an assignment coming up. You're going to be using secondary data to explain why people are doing what they do, what their patterns are when they go overseas, holidays and book tourism activities. your primary data will be if you want to, say, pick a brand name, run a price point past your friends and do a little survey monkey survey or Facebook poll, and you convert the responses into a graph and numbers. So, guys, this does sound like such a geek, but it does get me excited. Australian Bureau of Statistics. How much information do you want to know? We do a census every 4 years. You've got Hong Kong, Malaysian. These are all censuses. The government collects information. You've used this in assignments. Here, Austrade, Association, ASEAN. There's so much information. Have a look at the mass media television, the Australian, market research companies, Nielsen, Roy Morgan. A lot of these guys actually publish stuff that you don't have to pay for. You can get through the library. And your market information system, industry bodies, they say heaps. It's just the only thing that defines success here is the effort you put in finding the available information. Again, information is power. Laziness is death. If you don't know what your competitor's doing, you're not aware what your customer's doing, it is going to hurt your profitability and may take you out. Again, qualitative versus quantitative, guys. I gave you a brief introduction, but I like this table. This is 2016, popular quantitative methods used. So these are survey methodologies. Computer-assisted interviews, computer-assisted personal interviews. Have a look at the big one, online surveys. You guys go crazy over them. Interactive voice response. Mail, not so much anymore. Face-to-face. Not bad. Mobile surveys, biometrics. These are just fundamental ones. Now, what's it useful? This is the part I like. What's your market size? Who are your segments? How do we know something's going to work? We're measuring attitudes in terms of capabilities. Finding out about customer perceptions of existing products. What do you think of the new, no sugar V? What do you think of the new Wollongong online offering for Mark 101? We'll find out. I may actually give you a survey after the mid-session exam to actually give us some feedback. Is the Moodle site working for you? Did it help improve your outcomes? What can we do? That's a classic use of survey data to say, okay, is the Moodle site set up properly? How can we improve it? All right, now, guys, this is beautiful. Quantitative research methods surveys. How do you use them? Self-response surveys. Nice little categorization. Here, other quantitative experiments, observation. Now, this is a summary pretty much of your second year course, but it just shows you that in terms of getting information, there are heaps of tools we have available to us. And I love the fact here we have major advantages and major disadvantages. Because when you're designing a research approach, sorry guys, I'm going to be crazy with the highlighter, knowing what it can and can't do is important. Right, so what else have we got? Quantitative methods, observation, studying people's behaviour. This is not going and looking at children to see their shopping behaviour. There are ethical boundaries. Be very careful. I say that because students of mine ages ago took a camera down at kids' uni. They were interviewing parents who had children with them. Let's just say these guys were dressed professionally, but it was a total disaster. Parents were terrified. It looked like a news camera crew. So just be careful how we use observation in this environment. Now here, guys, I like this. Qualitative research methods. Focus groups. You sit around the group, a moderator asks questions of the group, facilitates discussion. We did this last year about pill testing at festivals. It was interesting. Half the students said, well, no, you shouldn't have it. You're condoning drug use. The other are saying, well, we're going to do it anyway. Let's have it and do it safely. It was really interesting. Chat. Online focus groups. You could do it. Online focus groups with webcams. If we had time, I'd do it. Telephone focus groups. Traditional in-depth interviews. Go and talk to a respondent in-depth and say, hey, what are we doing? And you tease information out. Again, online in-depth interviews, interviewing groups. Again, guys, This is rich data. If someone says something interesting, you go, oh, really? I hadn't considered that. Can you please expand your point, or tell me, what do you really mean about that? Do other friends of yours hold a similar view? And you get down deeper and deeper and deeper to get real meaning out of the discussion. And you can see it here. Qualitative research is useful for understanding customer needs, understanding new products, testing promotional campaign. I mean, I love you guys. I ask you in the online shoots, how are you going? I am good. Great. It's okay. I think there's like a 5-word limit. You're the most useless to try and draw information out of, and that's why I've got to use constantly different approaches. I'm not using the right language, but once I do, you guys are brilliant. But you've got to know how to break it down, how to get people to loosen up and give you the rich insights you're really looking. Guys, beautiful little table again, with advantages, disadvantages. And this is the kind of stuff that if you're doing mini report questions, can you see how beautifully presented it is? Straight to the point, no question, we know what's useful. Observation, it's all there. Now, we get to the next stage, which is about sampling. Sampling is pretty much, guys, just saying, look, if we want accurate data, we ask the whole country, like a census, assuming that it doesn't crash because the computer system can't handle it, as we did in Australia. But one of the things they've designed is we can grab, say, 2,000 people, say, from people who look similar to the general population we want, and see what they say. And by using statistical techniques, they actually come up with a confidence interval saying, yeah, well, look, we're fairly confident that this group represents what people at home are thinking as well. Now, I've got a really nice little YouTube clip on this, which shows the differences. But guys, this table is superb. It just explains it nicely. Have a look at the video and match it up with this, and you guys are really in a great position when it comes to understanding how information is created, what the weaknesses are when you read a survey. I love surveys that go, 90% of people are totally for this. And you look at it and go, you only asked 5 people. And they were millennials, and we were asking about people's attitudes towards going to a nursing home. The shit that goes on with surveys and the lies that a lot of them tell because people manipulate the results, present it the way they want. This is what I'm trying to get you to avoid. Do not believe anything, right? Look at it, look at the limitations of the study. Does it make sense? At the moment, there's a controversy about, do school kids, are they safe going back in the coronavirus epidemic? One of the key questions being asked of the survey is, well, you took this survey when 90% of children were actually at home. Of course, there's going to be a lower transmission rate of a virus when your population, which is at risk, is sitting at home in isolation. Simple stuff, guys, but that's the value of understanding this for your life, because it's going to be a lot harder for people to fool you going forward. Now, what else have we got here? Guys, data collection, analysis and reporting. This is a major section in any second year or third year marketing research class. All I'm happy with you guys to do is use SurveyMonkey if you do it informally, family and friends, and then just do some basic descriptive stats. All right, we get what data analysis is. That's using the right appropriate. Many of you are doing intro stats. If you're doing a BCom, this is what you do it for. Qualitative analysis, look, you draw conclusions, report the findings, and you'll be surprised that that is pretty much what you're doing for your assignment. So guys, I hope to have given you just a nice overview. I've got a couple of things: assessing the effectiveness of the market research. Guys, this is through experience, but realistically, this is a great chapter. I'm trying to keep it under half an hour, but guys, really read this summary. This summary, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, And all of these definitions, I guarantee you, are going to be in your final exam multiple choice. So guys, I'm very much encouraging you to understand this, how it works for you. And this should be a skill that you have for life. Looking at information and how people try to tell a story using statistics and you going, I buy it or I don't. All right, guys, information is power, and knowing when you have high quality information, how to use it is the ultimate power in marketing.